So the number 19 is the beginning and the end. What it tells me is that there is something that you're going to have to let, you're the 19th as well, ooh, like that. There's something you're going to have to let go of. The 9 is a message of opportunities in high frequency. But in low frequency, it's somebody that is extremely withdrawn and removed from others. It's somebody that doesn't necessarily trust other people because they've been hurt quite a lot and disappointed a lot and let down a lot. So it's somebody that doesn't necessarily trust other people and walks into situations feeling like they're going to be let down and they have an expectation of being let down, rather than walking into, that's the lower frequency, rather than walking into situations feeling optimistic and that this is an opportunity, which would be the higher frequency. So this year for you with 19, 9, 10, which is a 10. Oh, it shows me where your, ooh, this is interesting. It shows me where your 1 is. Your 1 is a 10. So your opportunities this year will come down to, ooh, this is very interesting, James. I've not looked at the 19 like this before. So your 9 is opportunity, but in low frequency, it's getting over the fact of people letting you down before, disappointing you. But together, 1 and 9 is 10. And the 10 is fearful. The 10 is one of the ones, one of the ego selves. And the 10 is fearful of being rejected and failure. So it really struggles to put itself out there because it's worried of failure and rejection. So the 9 is opportunity. That means you have to step across that line to be able to experience the opportunity. No, it's like somebody opens a door. The opportunity would be you stepping through that doorway. But if you have the 10, which is like, yeah, but what if I fail when I go through that doorway? What if I don't succeed? What if it all falls apart? What if they're just using me? What if they let me down? What if I'm disappointed? What if I'm rejected? What if, and all the what ifs come up. You're not actually going to take that step to walk across that threshold of the door. When on the other side of that threshold, walking through that door has all the opportunities that you could ask for. But you have to get over the fear of failure and the fear of rejection to be able to cross that threshold. So going into the number 19, or anybody experiencing the number 19, age 19, there's a lot of opportunities in the year 19. But you have to let go of. The 9 for me is like an autumn tree. It's like this tree that has all of these old leaves on it. And to be able to walk into spring, it has to let all of these old leaves go, so that when you walk into spring, it has the space and it's not giving the energy into these old leaves, that it's able to put energy into creating new buds for spring. But if it's still putting energy into these old leaves that are already dead and there's still energy going into them, then there's not enough energy to be able to go into the new buds to be able to grow. So it's about letting these old leaves fall so that you're able to put the energy into these newness that's coming into your world. But the old ones have to be let go of. And it's about shedding and letting go of the what if in negative mindset. So what if I fail? What if I'm rejected? What if I can't do it? What if they don't want me? What if they're lying? Because the number 9 worries about people lying. Number 9 is also somebody, as much as they're a very independent person, they're quite insecure. So they worry about not being good enough for other people. They're a bit of a people pleaser. The 9 and the Queen for me always kind of, they merge in some way. They always feel very connected to me. So there will be some insecurities around, and it's you overcoming those insecurities through your fear. Continue to walk forward. Don't allow your fear to stop you in your tracks and start diverting yourself onto a different route, because you're on the right path already. It's just allowing yourself to be confident on that path. you've been insecure recently. Yeah, 19 will definitely encourage that insecure feeling. In low frequency, that is the feeling of the 9. The 10 as well, the 1 of the 9. It is a feeling of being insecure. It's worrying about fear, worrying about failure and rejection. When you worry about rejection and failure, that in itself will make you insecure. But the 9, like I said, it always brings me to this place with the Queen. So, and the Queen, she is a people pleaser. So if you're worried about being rejected and you're worried about failure and being a people pleaser on top of that, then it's like there's a lot of insecurity on top of you at this moment. So it's about you really removing yourself from any kind of pressure on yourself and giving yourself the chat that you need to say, listen, I've got this. We can do this. What if this is like the best decision I've ever made? What if this leads to more than I could have ever asked for? Switch those what ifs so that you flow instead of become stagnant. I always think of it as you're at the top of a river, and that river can either become stagnant or you can move down the river and join the sea that's part of everything. This whole system of flow, no? That's what the river and the sea, it's this whole system of flow. Or you can take this little side bit and become stagnant there, which means that nobody, there's no flow in that place. Nobody wants to bathe in that place. It's smelly, it's stinky, nobody wants to be there. All that happens there. Yeah, things grow there, but it's not anywhere that people want to sit and appreciate because it don't smell good, it don't look good, it don't feel good. So allow yourself to be in that flow state. Talk yourself into what it is that you want to move towards. And like I said, that fear will be there, but you need to decide that, you know what, be brave and courageous. Even though I'm feeling this fear, and even though I'm shaking and it's got me, this fear, I'm moving beyond it. Because that's what courageous is. That's what it is to be brave. To fear the fear and do it anyway. So that is what this year will be about for you. Feel that fear and do it anyway. Talk yourself into it, not out of it. And the more you do that throughout this year, you'll get to your 20th year. You know, in the 20th you were here, you were listening. Because if you don't do it in this year, you'll get to your 20th year. And the 20th year, you'll start in low frequency. It will feel that you're not supported, you're not loved, you're not connected to anything, you're not feeling strong. Everybody else is to blame for what you're experiencing because you haven't moved with the flow. So by the time you get to the 20, you feel like, what's the point of this? It will feel really hard. But if you move beyond those fears in the 19, you'll get to the 20, the 2, and you're 20 years old. You'll get to that 20 years old and you will be connected to those signs and synchronicities because you dealt with that 1 from the 19. So instead of talking yourself out of it, encourage yourself towards it. Don't put pressure on yourself, because when you put pressure on yourself, then it's a bullying that you're doing to self. So let go of the idea of I have to do this or I need to do this. Because when you have to do something and you need to do something, I know for me as a rebel, it's I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. When someone tells me you have to do this, Bridget, it's like, yeah, who told you I have to do that? Or you need to do this. Yeah, I'm not doing it. But when I get to do this, then this is something that you're choosing to do. It feels exciting. It feels liberating. It feels like, yeah, this is what I want to do. It doesn't feel like there's pressure in it because you've decided to do it. I get to do this feels a lot better. Or I'm excited to do this rather than I'm scared to do this. Scared and excited, they're very similar feeling with inside ourselves. Your belly's all funny, you feel, ooh. They're both a very, very similar feeling. And you just changing the word creates it to be different within you. The feeling remains the same, but the word doesn't remain the same. If I'm scared or fearful, then that's making me feel like I don't want to do it. But if I'm excited, and that feeling is the same as scared, I'm excited, I'm ready to do it. I'm like, come on, let's go. We've got this. You feel really good about it. So use your words wisely.